Hello and welcome to PolyLearn support. This video is going to show you how to create a quiz for your PolyLearn course. The first thing you need to do is turn editing on, which is in the upper right hand corner of your course view. Now you can choose which block you want to create a quiz under, and then select the Add an Activity or Resource button. Then find Quiz and hit Add. Now you can name the quiz and add a description. The description of the quiz is a great place to put the instructions for it. The rest of the options are laid out below in expandable tabs. These quizzes are completely customizable, giving you control over timing, grading, and layout. Obviously there isn't enough time to go through all of the options, but each one has a question mark button next to it that describes what it does. If you want to look through all the options, notice the Expand All button in the top right. I encourage you to look through all of the options to see which ones will be helpful for you. Once you're finished and you're happy with all your options, scroll to the bottom. Once finished, you can select Save and Return to Course or Save and Display to view your quiz. We're going to hit Save and Display because we want to see our quiz. This is the quiz page. As you can see, there are no questions yet, so we will have to fix that. Click the Edit Quiz button. First thing to notice is the max grade box. Input how many points you want the quiz to be worth and hit Save. Next, we'll want to add some questions. Hit the Add button and select the Add a New Question option. Here you can see all of the different question options. I'm going to go with a true-false because it's very simple for this video. From here, you want to give your question a title and enter the question into the question text box. If you want your students to get a general feedback no matter their response, put it in here. I'll put it in just so we can see what it looks like later. Then choose the correct answer, true or false in this case. If you want your student to get specific feedback if they put true or if they put false, you can enter that here too. Once you're happy with your question, scroll to the bottom and hit Save Changes. You can also add pre-made questions to your quiz. To do this, you'll need questions in your question bank, which is a collected storage of all the quiz questions you have in your PolyLearn course. You can even choose questions from other courses. To add a question from a question bank, again hit the Add button, but this time hit the Add from Question Bank option. At the top, select a category for where you want your questions to come from. This is where you will see all of your question banks. Select the box on any questions you might want to add and hit the Add Selected Questions to the Quiz button. You can even add a random question that will pull a random question from a question bank so you can get different quizzes very easily from student to student. Adding a random question is very easy. Again, go to the Add button, but this time hit the Add a Random Question button. Select the category you want to pull the questions from, I'll do this one again, and how many you want pulled. Then, just add your random question. It's as easy as that. If you want to change the order in which your questions all appear, you can move them around with these arrow buttons, or little arrow draggers. You can put them in any order you want. And when you're done, hit Repaginate. This lets you to select how many questions you want per page. Hit Go, and it organizes it just like so. If you ever want to delete any of your questions, there's an X on this end. If you want to see a live preview of your questions, there's a magnifying glass. This is a very helpful tool because you can edit your questions and see the changes immediately. If you need to edit any of your question settings, there's a little gear box right in here that you can hit, and that'll bring you right into your question settings page. And if you ever need to edit the point value of any of these questions, hit this pencil box right here, and it allows you to edit the point value. When you are happy with your quiz, hit the Save button and scroll down to Preview. Here you can see your quiz just as a student would. Also notice that you can edit questions right here in case you see any mistakes in your questions. Notice you can also leave early if you wish to by hitting the Finish Attempt button over here in the quiz navigation block. As you can see right here, this is what the general feedback looks like in a question. No matter which answer they put, the general feedback will be right here. If you need to give any students extra time or other considerations, go to the User Overrides button in the administration block. Here, you can give your students extra time or more attempts as needed. And that's all we have for making a quiz. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to go to polylearnsupport.calpoly.edu.